Hello folks, welcome to Horsepen Ranch and the Horsepen Ranch Chuck Wagon. My name is Justin Jackson and I'm glad you're watching our video today. We've done some videos, some how-to videos, cleaning a pot, making it from rusty to back to kind of new again, a cast iron pot. We've done how to grease a wagon wheel. We've done just one on hanging out on the ranch and feeding cows. But today we're doing our very first how to cook video. And so I've been wanting to do one of these for a while, so I'm just kind of excited about that. And I've chose cowboy coffee or campfire coffee. And so I have made my rounds around this world, and I tell you, there's a lot of folks who do not know how to make good old-fashioned campfire coffee. And so we're going to teach you today. It's really easy, and it's some of the best coffee that you'll ever drink, okay? And so all you need is fire, water, and coffee, and a pot to put it in. We'll talk about pots later, but we're gonna, that's it. It's really simple. We're gonna start. You can use any coffee. We'll talk about coffee here in a minute too. I've got some Arbuckles here, and this is the coffee that won the West. I've got some of that, and we're gonna get us a couple scoops of this and go over here to the fire, and we're gonna put it in there. We're gonna do 2 cups, cup and a half to 2 cups of coffee in this big pot I got. All right, so here we go. We've got this coffee right here. We're gonna, this water is what I call warm. We're going to put 1 cup in there. I tell you what, we're going to go ahead and put 2 cups in there, about maybe 3/4 or so, just like that right there. And we're going to let that boil. All right, while our coffee's boiling, or starting to try to boil, we're going to talk about types of coffee and the types of pots that you need. So coffee, and you can use whatever coffee that you want to use. This is Arbuckles, like I said. It comes with a fancy peppermint stick in it. That's old school. This is the brand that actually started roasting beans. Before this company from New York City started roasting beans back in the late 1800s, you bought beans green and you roasted them in an iron skillet over the fire, and then you ground them yourself in a coffee grinder like this one here. This is an old antique coffee grinder from the late 1800s. But Arbuckles is the first one to actually sell beans that were roasted. And so, but you can use Folgers, you can use Maxwell House, whatever coffee you want to use. You can, man, I'm all about good coffee, okay? And so you can use good coffee beans. We got a local guy, shout out to Caleb Hobday, who does our beans for us. We love them. They're great. He does a great job. And so you can grind them yourself and all that. So whatever coffee that you want to use, okay? And the amount in that big pot was right at 2 cups. I'll give you a conversion for that here in a little bit for smaller pots. Now let's talk about pots. So this pot can be probably found on Amazon, okay? And this is a pot that we use more in the house for me and my wife. And so it's a lot smaller, of course. They're easy to find on Amazon, sometimes at Walmart in the camping section. Okay, you can find that. And then these bigger pots that will make a lot of coffee. I just actually found this at a local antique store. They are hard to find, these bigger ones are. Like the one I got here, over there with coffee in it, and this one right here, they're really hard to find. I've got about 4 or 5 of these things now, and they don't make them anymore, so they're harder to find. So that's it. And so sometimes when you buy ones like these, they come with a percolator stuff inside. Take that percolator stuff out and toss it. You don't need it. This is a lot better way to make coffee, okay? Another tip is when you wash these, okay? When you wash these, you can clean the outside all you want. You can clean the inside with warm water. But these are a lot like cast iron on the inside. This one here is good and seasoned on the inside. This one here is brand new for me, and it's really not, okay? So the best way to season these is to cook coffee in them. When you're done, pour the coffee out, rinse it out with hot water, but don't scrub it inside, and don't scrub it with soap at all, okay? It's really even best, what you can do is you can make coffee in these and don't drink the coffee necessarily and let it sit for about a day in there. And that'll really seasons the sides up, okay, real well. And then you can dump it out and just, like I said, rinse it out with hot water and you'll be good to go. But these are a lot like cast iron inside. Don't scrub them with an abrasive brush, and do not put soap on the inside of these things, okay? So that's another tip for you. All right, so it only took a few minutes and we are rapid boiling. So this is what a process needs to take about 4 minutes or so is all you got to do. Let this boil hard, rolling boil for 4 minutes. I will say if you grind your own beans and they're a little thicker than what you can buy out of a package in a store like a Folgers or an Arbuckles, you might want to go 5 or 6 minutes on a thicker grind. But this right here is about a 4 minute process and that is it. Okay, we're almost to the 4 minute mark. Like I said, it don't have to be perfect, right around 4 minutes. I'm not going to time it necessarily. I will say this real quick tip here for you. When you start boiling, if you're in the house on a electric stove or a gas stove, even out here on a campfire, when it starts boiling, you may have to adjust the heat. And out here we adjust the heat by moving it here or moving it here for hotter, okay? Because when it first starts boiling, it can boil over, all right? So again, when I see it in the house, when I see it start to try to boil, I'll turn that burner down just a little bit on our gas stove. And so that's a little quick tip for you. All right, we've got it off the fire. It's sitting here. It boiled for about 4 or 5 minutes, and it is going to be ready to drink here in just a second. You're probably saying, well, how in the world am I going to get coffee out of there without all them grounds coming out, right? All them coffee grounds coming out. Well, we're going to put a cup of cold water, okay, in this here just a second. And so while we're waiting, I like to wait a couple minutes before I do that. I got another quick tip for you. So your conversion, if you have a smaller pot like we talked about earlier, is going to be about a 1/4 cup of coffee to a quart of water. And so again, that's your liking too. If you like your coffee a little stronger or a little weaker, that's going to be something you have to play with a little bit. But it's about a 1/4 cup of coffee to 1 quart of water is about the conversion. And the longer you let it boil, the stronger the coffee will be, okay? And so here we go. We're going to come up here. We're going to pour this. We're going to pour a little bit down this spout right here just to make sure we have it all down off the spout. Sometimes they get caught in there. We're going to pour this right on top, okay? And that is it. What happens, that cold water pushes the grounds all the way down to the bottom. And that's it, guys. There's those things about throwing an eggshell in there and this and that. And man, I hear everything, guys, with this coffee. And I'll pour you some here in a minute and show you how smooth it'll look. I hear, I've done this for youth camps, church camps, for the adults, the sponsors for years and years. And everybody at first is like, I don't know about that. That's going to be too strong, or that's going to be too this, to that. I'll make it for them one time, and they want me to make it for them every morning. They don't want that drip coffee. They want this good cowboy coffee. All right. And so here we go. We're going to pour a cup of this, and I'm just going to show you right now. I'm going to put a glove on because I know it's going to be or not but real hot. So we can come over here and get a close shot. I want to see how smooth this is going to be. Look at that right there. Look at that right there. Beautiful, right? So that's your cup of coffee right there. And so as you can see, it's a good color. I'm going to pour this out, just kind of show you. Look here. You see any grounds in that? Anybody? Nobody? Nobody. No grounds whatsoever. Just good stuff. Again, you can just keep going and keep going and keep going. Look here. Look at that. Slow pour. Boom. Okay. And so it is, this makes great coffee. Great coffee. I'm gonna drink this one. I don't want to waste any more coffee. That's a foul. Okay. So guys, that is it. I'm trying to think of anything else. Like I said, you want to be careful when it starts to boil. When you first start seeing it boil, you may have to turn your burner down if you're inside, because it can boil over. But once it starts rapid boiling, you're safe. Once it starts boiling, you're good to go. Again, use any coffee you want to use. I tell you, I love good coffee beans, but this seems to bring coffee to more of a level playing field. You can use not as fancy beans or coffee and get a really good cup of coffee. And so that's just how it is. All right, guys. Hey, thanks for watching. We really appreciate it. Comment. Let us know what you think about it. If you got any questions, ask them. I'll be glad to answer them. And hey, it's hard to beat coffee of the morning and in the afternoon and just whenever. All right, so enjoy and make this at home and let us know how it goes. Thanks.